Yes, sir, Texas Longhorns fans. The commitment made November 4th this morning. We got the news in the mail. Jameel Johnson is the first recruit in the class of 2023 for our Texas Longhorns. Very happy to announce, very proud to say that Jameel Johnson, cornerback from Arlington, Texas, four-star recruit, is now officially a Texas Longhorn. What's up? What's happening? You know me, it's your boy AK, and I'm here to announce in a live stream with you today that we have our first commitment in the class of 2023. He comes from a large family of 10. He is the 10th sibling of 2 other boys and 7 girls. Jameel Johnson comes from a very competitive family from Arlington, Texas. He is nationally rated as number 187th nationally rated recruit, 15th overall safety, and in the great state of Texas, he is the 27th overall best player. With that being said, Texas does see him as a cornerback recruit. I do see him possibly playing a safety cornerback or even a nickel role for the defensive backfield for Terry Joseph's defensive scheme. But with that being said, in PK's defense, he is 6'1", right around 175 pounds, 180 pounds. But whenever you're talking about a frame and whenever you're talking about someone's size and whenever he is large for that size or he is large for that frame, Jameel Johnson is definitely going to be someone that fits that character, that fits that mold. As is, when you look at others that are around that same body, that are listed at that same height and weight, Jameel Johnson does appear to be just a bit larger than them. He does play a bit more of a safety role, a bit hybrid safety role for his Seguin High School down there in Arlington. But he is looking to play a nickelback cornerback for Terry Joseph's in Coach PK's scheme. And just a couple of things that I do like about him, what they do say about Mr. Johnson, he does have ideal size for his position. He is just over that 6'1" area, which you do, in fact, enjoy with your corners. He does have good height and weight to add to that frame. He does have good athleticism that he does play on the ball. He does make good breaks and good movements towards the ball as well with his frame. But with that being said, he has played the majority of his snaps a little bit off the ball, a little bit behind the ball, playing in that more of a safety role. He utilizes that length with playing in press coverage, and he also uses that size and strength at the point of attack. He does finish well for a tackler. He does finish well for a defensive back as a tackler, as he displays right here, and as he displays early and often throughout his videos. He does make a good break on the ball, intercepting the ball, and having good PBUs, having good pass breakups. He does show good lightning speed as he chases this guy all the way down from behind. Good Hollywood hustle, good competitive nature, never really giving up on the play, never really giving up on his teammates there for Seguin. But 4-star prospect, and again, you cannot absolutely say enough about this, man. You cannot say enough about it. You absolutely just got to get a foothold. You absolutely just have to get someone in here. You just absolutely have to get someone started in the class. And in the first class, committed to the Longhorns is going to be Jameel Johnson. We did have another running back committed to the class of 2023. That was going to be El Campo Ruben Owens, but he made his commitment during the summer, and he did in fact decommit, opened up his recruitment, saying that he wants to explore his options. Really, I think when the case with Owens, I really just think that he did just commit just a little bit too early. I think that he should have explored his options just a little bit more, taken a little bit more of his summer visits, but I do believe he pounced on it just a bit early. But Jameel Johnson has been on the campus. He was a part of the mid-June summer tour that many prospects had on campus. He was a part of the big prospects that came on in the class of 2023. There was some junior prospects, some senior prospects on there as well, but that was mainly a junior prospect day that really opened it up for Jameel, that really opened up his eyes, as many big-time programs had the eyes on the prize for his recruit. The likes of Texas A&M were in for this recruit. Obviously, we're going to have the Bayou Bengals, LSU, obviously going to have fought long and hard to get this recruit from Alabama, as he is a highly touted defensive back. looking to play cornerback in Terry Joseph's scheme. He is looked at as a safety. If you do look him up on 247 Sports or probably another rating site, he is going to be listed as a safety. But with that being said, Jameel Johnson is going to be a Texas Longhorn. Very excited to have him being the first addition to the class of 2023 in Coach PK's defense. What you're seeing here, when you see time and time again on his film, is you see him coming down, making plays, never giving up, always coming towards the ball, always helping his teammates out, and never giving up in the likes of plays. Always showing good hustle, always showing good command. Always happy to have him as a part of the program. But what's up, guys? What's happening, y'all? It's your boy AK, and I'm live here for y'all, guys. And that's going to be done with the highlight part, as we do now, in fact, have our first recruit in the class of 2023 for the Texas Longhorns, and that is going to be Arlington Seguin, defensive back. Some view him as a cornerback, some view him as a safety. He likes to view himself as a cornerback, so I'm going to go ahead and respect that decision, and I'm going to go ahead and call him a cornerback as well, as he is going to be our first commit in the class of 2023 for the Texas Longhorns. Let's see if I can get you a picture of him here for us, guys. But him. Oh. Yeah, here he is. Jameel Johnson, you can see him. I have his 247 Sports up on here for you. He is listed as a safety, 6'1", good size, good body frame. As you do see him on film, he does possess a nice size frame for you. 175, 180 pounds, nationally rated under in the top 200, nationally rated as 187th, the number 15th overall safety, but it doesn't really matter because he views himself as a cornerback, as a defensive back. But man, we just need to get these top-rated athletes in on the Texas Longhorns. We need to get them on the 40 acres, man, and we really need to get these guys coached up for Coach PK's defense. We need to get these guys and other recruits excited about the Texas Longhorns. We need to stop with these L's that we've had, the defensive struggles late in the second half. Giving up all the fourth quarter points has been absolutely a turmoil, absolutely been devastating for the Texas Longhorns. We need top-rated defensive players to come into the 40, to love the Longhorns, coach them up, get into the program, and become contributing members to our program. And in Jameel Johnson, I do believe that we do have a player in him. With that, we can get him rolling. As I do have him right here, as he does play for Seguin, which is going to be in Arlington, Texas, which is going to be in the DFW Metroplex, playing some big-time ball. Talking about him as a kid, he is going to be one of 10 kids. He is going to be, he has 7 sisters and 2 other brothers, so it would make up his other 9 other siblings. So anybody that you know that comes from a large family, you got to compete. You got to compete for food. You got to compete for your parents. You got to compete on the field. You got to compete in the classroom. You got hand-me-down clothes. Man, everything. Life is a competition. If you want to stand out in that family, and if you want to stand out in anywhere in football and life, you got to compete in order for your light to shine bright. And you know that this young individual, Jameel Johnson, had to compete in that family, and is going to compete in life, and hopefully will compete on the football field, on the 40 acres for the Texas Longhorns. But like I did say, he is going to be our first representative for the class of 2023. He is going to be our first commit, as we did have Ruben Owens, who committed during the summer and did not hold his commitment. As I did say earlier in the podcast, that I do believe that when it did come to young Ruben Owens, that he did, in fact, just commit a little bit too early. But Jameel Johnson, coming out of Arlington, Texas, as you can see him in the class of 23 athlete, he did make some camp visits. He did make some camp tours to the campus. Like I did say, he was in the fold with that big group of class of 23 prospects whenever they came in mid-June, man. So holla at you, boy. Very excited to get him into the fold. Very excited about what Jameel Johnson does, in fact, have to offer for us. So just kind of sort of getting started out here for you. If you have any questions for me, any comments, anything you just want to say about Jameel Johnson, anything you possibly want to say about him, possibly what you have to think about him coaching the Texas Longhorns, other Texas Longhorns that we do have into the fold. We do know that the class of 2022 does in fact have 22 recruits in it already. It is nationally recognized in the top 10, so we are already good to go in there. We're looking to have a big, giant class in the class of 2022, but the class of 23 absolutely getting started out. With young Jameel Johnson. Horns up to you, John. Good to see you in the live stream. Good to see you in the live chat for you. Anything you have any questions about Jameel, kind of sort of position, anything about what you think he's going to play here on the 40, any other recruits that you're excited about in the class of 23. I am just going to go over some defensive prospects on the side of the ball from the class of 23, kind of sort of my favorite players that we have going on the defensive side of the ball for the class of 23. And then I will give you just one offensive player that I'm also excited about. But Jameel Johnson, the first commit in the class of 23. And if you do like this program, and if you do new to the program, you do watching this new live, my name's AK. I do Texas Live programs. I do it about Texas Longhorns football, recruiting, and also Texas high school football. I also do monologue videos, and man, I just love to talk ball, point, and period, the end. So if you do in fact like this kind of sort of content, and if you do in fact this kind of sort of content, please drop a like and please subscribe to the channel, as I would very much appreciate that. But with that being said, the very first recruit in the class of 23 is going to be Jameel Johnson, cornerback, safety, whatever, just a defensive back. I just want to get him on the field. I just want to get him going into the class. But like I did say, we are going to have many other offers in the class of 23, and they're just the ones that are standing out to me just right off the bat. I'm just going to be talking about on the offensive side of the ball. We are just only looking at one prospect at the quarterback position. I'm going to start out with the lead dog. You know who I'm going to be talking about, the Newman quarterback. You know it, Arch Manning, the big-time family name. He is going to be a big, grown junior as he is now, standing 6'4", well over 200 pounds at 215. He is nationally rated as a 5-star. Of course, he's the number one at his position of quarterback, and he is the number one position overall according to the composites of the rating sites. He is going to be from New Orleans, Louisiana. He is going to be a pocket-style pro quarterback. He can scoot to the left, he can scoot to the right, and as he did display a couple weeks ago, he did scamper for a 75-yard touchdown run. So your boy has some wheels as well, but mainly known for that pocket presence, mainly known for reading the defense, mainly known for what all good Mannings are known for, and that's going to have that good pedigree for being a professional style of a quarterback, reading the defense, letting the ball fly, has a great release, and is willing to work hard and get what he wants in life, just not coming off of that name, as Arch Manning has put in the work, put in the film, and he does deserve that number one overall rating. He does deserve that 5-star rating. But you look up Arch Newman's film, as he does light it up. You can kind of sort of question the competition as what they are playing it in there for his collegiate, for his high school, as it does look to be a weak competition for the high school league that he does play in. But you cannot stress about who you play against. All you can do is do your best on the field, put up the best film, and play your best against who you play against. And Arch Manning has been lighting it up on Friday nights, every Friday night in Louisiana. Ever since his freshman year, he has been the starting quarterback for Newman there in New Orleans. So with that being said, with the Arch Manning, Texas is viewed as being the leader in the clubhouse by some composite sites. I believe On3 has him in the leader in the clubhouse. 247 Sports has written several articles about him liking Steve Sarkisian as well as Millie as well. Our offensive scheme and just how explosive our offense is, and how we'd like to get the ball to out to our wide receivers, out to our playmakers, and how quarterback friendly and professional quarterback friendly Coach Sark's scheme does in fact tend to be. And that's why we got Coach Sark in here, right? Is to get the big time quarterbacks, to get the big time playmakers, and express his all gas, no brakes mentality, because that is ultimately what we are going to need to win these ball games. We are going to need these top rated quarterbacks. We're going to need these top rated playmakers for his scheme. And it does start with Arch Manning. Is with Arch Manning comes, other people will come without a doubt. We will get back into the fold. We'll get back into the fold the running back that we lost in Ruben Owens. I'll get into the podcast here and some other folks that will also get into the fold if we get Arch Manning. But really, on the only quarterback prospect that we have coming in for the class of 23 is going to be Arch Manning. We do have two other offers. We have one out on Malachi Nelson and another quarterback that is going to be committed to the Tar Heels. Of course, our old coach coming out of the Tar Heel State in North Carolina. So only having three offers out in the quarterback position and really only seeking one, and that's going to be Arch Manning. But who is Arch Manning looking to throw to in this class of 23? Some of the standout wide receivers that I have my eye on, and just one defensive player that I will allude to earlier. But coming in from the wide receiver position that I want to talk about first, that we do have, and he is going to be coming out of the Houston area. He is going to be a nationally fringe 4-star, high 5-star recruit, however he's looked at in whatever recruiting composite site you look at. But he's a baller either way, and that's going to be Jaquez Petaway, coming out of the Houston area, plays for Langham Creek, and he is going to be another class of 23 recruit as well, as he is going to be a speedster, 5'11", 170 pounds. He is the nationally recruited number 34 overall, and in the great state of Texas, he is the number 6 overall recruit. And like I did say, he does bring that speed to the field. He does bring that speed to his game. Has been recorded, has been clocked, running a 10.55 in the 100 meter and doubling up in the 200 meter at 21.72. Both blazing track times, both blazing track numbers. If you know anything about that, that is fast. And with that being said, he is a twitchy athlete. He does show explosiveness, and one of the things that does come onto the football field that shows his explosiveness from the track standpoint is going to be the jumping. Is going to be the jumping disciplines. He did triple jump a best of 43 feet as well. So Jaquez Petaway is going to be a baller, a playmaker, someone else that I feel that could easily jump into the fold, that could easily jump into the loop as well in the class of 23 once we get this ball rolling, and if we land the number one guy in Arch Manning. Many football players that will come into the fold if in fact we do land Arch Manning, which I do believe we have a good shot at doing. Not going to say we are, not going to say that we are in the leader in the clubhouse, or that we have a 50-50 shot, 25% shot. I just say that we are most definitely in the running for it as well. Another playmaking wide receiver that could possibly come into the fold in this class of 23, explosive wide receiver out of DeSoto. Again, we are looking for this body type. We're looking for this body size. We are looking for this fast, speedy wide receivers that can make plays on the field, downfield. And coming from DeSoto, Texas, in the same class is going to be Jonte Cook, the second man, 6 foot tall, 170 pounds, nationally rated as the 45th best player, the 7th best wide receiver. And man, in the great state of Texas, he is going to be in the top 10 as well, as he is the number 8 overall player. He does have a strong track and field background as well. He does have some blazing times as well. Texas A&M is definitely on the heels. Alabama, Ole Miss, all of their major big-time SEC contenders are going to be in the loop. Penn State and Nittany Lions are making a push for this pass catcher. So we need to get better play on the field. But recruits are listening. They're looking to this explosiveness, and the guy that really is selling it for us on the field right now for these wide receivers is going to be number 8, the X-Men, Xavier Worthy, as he exploded onto the scene as a freshman, is going to be leading in the clubhouse in the Big 12 in overall yards, and he is leading in the Big 12 in touchdown receptions as well. We all saw him ball out of control in that ultimately devastating loss to the Sooners this year, as he had 261 yards. He had 2 scores and I believe 9 receptions. He averaged just under 30 receptions, 30 yards of reception. Averaged 29 yards a grab. Absolutely balled out of control. We see that on the field. You see that lightning speed. You see him flash. You see him get open with his own ability. In Sark's offense, you see him scheme him to get open. It is amazing to see him play. Just think about where we would be without the X-Men. Just think about where we would be without Xavier Worthy. And these young players, these young wide receivers, they are seeing this. They are seeing that mold, and they are very interested in, and that is what keeping them glued to the TV. That is what keeping them listening to Coach Sark. That is what is keeping them listening to Coach Coleman whenever they talk to them on these recruiting visits, man. So we have dropped 3 L's in a row, have had 3 disappointing fourth quarter comebacks happen to us in a row. That's devastating. But these recruits, they're not necessarily seeing what is on the field with the W's and the L's. They are seeing their position. They are seeing their position lighted up. If they know and talk to other recruits that are coming in other positions, like we know we need the big uglies. We know we need the interior offensive linemen, the exterior offensive linemen. We need those guys to have the time for these big-time playmaking wide receivers to get down the field. So just think about what the X-Man Xavier would have, what his numbers would be if our quarterbacks had better protection. Just think about the numbers, the touchdowns, the grabs. If every single time Casey had a clean pocket 60% of the time, instead of scrambling around for his life, and had time to drop back and run these long RPO plays where he is the third option, whenever he is going to be the third option downfield to make the big plays, not necessarily on the quick hitters that he got in the first play of the Sooner game where he went for 75 yards on the first play to the house. So this is what these guys are looking at, and this is what Jonte Cook coming out of DeSoto is looking at as well. So when you're talking about these wide receivers on the field, these are going to be these types that we're looking for. We'll look for the big body guys as well as I am going to show you an in-betweener type. Is he a tight end? Is he a wide receiver? I do have a guy coming later in the podcast talking about Jaden Greathouse. But Jonte Cook II, someone definitely I would love to see come into the fold, into the 40. And if we continue to show our offense, if we do get it onto the field, we do show some more some growth, I do see us landing some of these recruits. And coming out of the DFW Metroplex area, another guy that I do have my eye on, another speedster, but this is going to be a height and weight ratio. When I was talking about someone with speed, he also has height and length. And I'm talking about Aston Cozart, as he is 6'3". He is 180 pounds, and he is coming out of Flower Mound, Texas. And I will put him up here for us right quick here for us. But he is a wide receiver, and he's nationally rated as the 45th overall recruit coming out of the DFW area. Here he is right here. Yep, here is Ashton, as you can see him. Just inside the top 300, depending on where you look at him, where you view him at. But he's definitely a 4-star recruit, definitely a playmaker, definitely a baller. And I believe his 100 time, just straight off the top of my head, is going to be another impressive one, as he runs the 100 in 10.55 seconds. Absolutely blazing as well. Absolutely going to be a twitchy athlete, explosive to the ball. Is going to be a great athlete, obviously with that 6'3" frame, 50-50 red zone threat. In addition to that outside speed, in addition to the guys that we do have coming into the fold this year, already have Armani Winfield in the class of 2022. So this is going to be someone that I would view similar to Armani, same kind of sort of speed, a little bit faster than Armani, but the same speed, size, and weight ratio. With that being said, the other guy, Jaquez Petaway, might be a slot type might be a slot type receiver. We're also going to have Brennan Thompson in the class of 2022. He is definitely going to be an outside and an inside threat. I would love to see him taking the ball on some end arounds. I would love to see him coming out of the backfield and then coming into the slot, making plays for us and for us once he does step on the 40. As Brennan Thompson is one of the fastest athletes, period, in the class of 2022. I believe he ran his best time in the 100. It's going to be a 10.32, I believe, which is going to be absolutely smoking, but absolutely smoking fast as well. Coming from the DFW Metroplex, this Aston Cozart, absolutely looking forward to having him onto the 40. Would love to have him come into the fold as well. But just another one of the tweener types that I was speaking about. Let's see what we got here. One of the tweener guy that I was talking about Jaden Greathouse, and he is going to be right in our backyard, as he is going to be in the Austin area as he plays for the Chaparrals. He plays for Austin Westlake. He is going to be listed as a tight end. Some sites have him listed as a wide receiver, but he is going to be a play catching supreme athlete without a doubt. As he is a little bit too big for cornerbacks, as he does body them up just a little bit too much, and the safeties really can't quite keep up. Really, the only guys that can body him up, the only guys that can play him up that I saw him do a really good job is going to be Denver Harris whenever they did fact play last year. But with that being said, too fast for the safeties, too big for the cornerbacks, and man, linebackers just absolutely don't have a chance at all. Jaden Greathouse, good size, 6'2". I really did think that he would grow a little bit more as he was a freshman All-American straight off the bat for Austin Westlake Chaparrals, balling out of control ever since his freshman year. And it was when he did make his contribution his freshman year, as he made it in the playoffs against the biggest competition in the biggest games. Jaden Greathouse is an absolute playmaker. And ever since Texas offered way back, I don't even know how long ago Texas offered. I can look it up. But with that being said, Jaden Greathouse has been on the Texas radar for a very long time. He was offered by the old staff and was re-offered by the new staff by Coach Sark. Nationally rated, you can see him as a very highly rated 4-star prospect. He is a bit of a tweener mold, but that is an athlete that you can just put it out there, throw it in a screen, block for others out there in a screen whenever doing the quick hitters, those short and intermediate passes. Can without a doubt do some rub routes down there near the goal line, and also be another big-time major goal line threat for the Texas Longhorns. With that being said, Jaden Greathouse for the Chaparrals, he plays major ball, wins state titles, has been in a winning program, has had great quarterback play and a great offense that is definitely known for good schemes and great offensive production, great offensive play, and it's definitely been a playmaker ever since he has been a freshman contributing on a varsity ball. But just one more guy that I really do want to talk about in this program here, and that's going to be the only person that I have on the defensive side of the ball. And it's going to be this man right here, and he's going to be another class of 23 athlete, and he has something that we covet here on the 40. He has something that we covet here in the great state of Texas, and that's going to be speed, as he does play for the same high school team as our quarterback commit in the class of 22. He plays for the same high school as Malik Murphy. Talking about Roger Pleasant, as he is a nationally rated top 100 athlete, quarterback athlete. And I'll just look up his track times here for us and just talk about that speed for just one moment. Absolutely love what he has to offer. Whenever you're talking about defensive players in the class of 23, this is going to be definitely one of my top 2 guys. Another one, my top 2 guys is going to be coming from Arlington Martin, and that's going to be Jevin Tabanio, how do you pronounce his last name? Might have misspelled that a little bit. Mispronounced that just a little bit. Sorry about that, Jevin. But with that being said, Roger Pleasant is going to be another guy that I'm looking at. A little bit under the radar for Texas recruiting sites, as far as Texas fans might be known, because he does come out of California. A lot of people are looking at these in-state guys, but definitely displays that track speed. Definitely has as well as you see that blazing 100-meter time is 10.32, exact same speed as Brennan Thompson, doubles it up in the 200. I don't understand how guys are possibly this fast, to be honest with you. Runs the 200, best time as 20.59 recorded, and he posted that time just this summer. Absolutely blazing speeds. He posted both of those times this summer. Absolutely amazing. So he did both of those times as a sophomore. Has been offered by the big boys as well. UCLA has been offering him. Of course, going to have Ole Miss on Pleasant as well. Big time major athlete, big time major contributor out there for his high school team. But I would love to see him come into the fold. Would absolutely love to get him in Coach PK's defense. Would absolutely love for our defensive back coaches to get their hands on him. With that being said, that's going to be the guy that I have my eye on as far as defensive backs. They're a little bit unknown to the Texas Longhorns. Roderick Pleasant, absolute speedster, coming out of the great state of California. Has been a major contributor there for the same team that Malik Murphy does in fact play for. You think who's coming to Texas, John? So if anybody has any questions right now, those are going to be the guys who I think that I'm excited about on the offensive side of the ball as far as wide receiver. I did give you Jaden Greathouse. He's going to be one of the guys as far as wide receiver. Is he a tight end, kind of sort of a tweener, kind of sort of in between kind of sort of athlete? But very excited about what we do have coming to Texas. I do believe the class of 23 is going to be in a good spot. I do believe it is going to hit some good spots. I do believe we are going to get some major athletes. I do believe we are going to get some more athletes coming in the fold. We just need to win some more games here in coming up. This will be a big time ball game. Of course, we know we're going up to Ames, Iowa. Iowa State plays hardcore football down there. Hopefully the weather won't be too bad for us. Hopefully their tight ends won't beat us up too bad as they have done in the past. Brock Purdy, he's not looked. He's digressed. His ball has digressed. He's continued to not ball out of control. He's not continued to grow as a quarterback, and he's not had the great senior year that he wanted to. But as far as what we got going on, we need to show some good film on the field for these prospects, man. But if you have any questions right now, that's going to be as far as what I have for you on the program. Very excited that we do have Jameel Johnson coming into the fold, our first class of 2023 guy, our first guy that we do have committed to the Texas Longhorns in that class. Very excited that we do have him come into the fold. If you just go ahead, drop a like, subscribe if you've yet to. I do live streams. I also like to do monologue videos, Texas Longhorn football, Texas high school football. I like to do highlights as well. So with that being said, any of those things tickle your fancy. If you like any kind of sort of content, please be sure to like this kind of sort of content. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. With that being said, keep your head in a swivel, your eyes on Texas, hook 'em up.